I enjoy the aspect of mountains and land floating. But here it's not floating, it's kind of resting within. And I think that's how a lot of the work has come across that I've made in the residency. A lot of my work hasn't just been to capture the sights of the maunga, but also to look at them from different perspectives, from behind, from the side, in the morning, in the night. All these moments that happen in these, across seasons and years, and me trying to squeeze it into these 2 weeks has been hard but good and needed. Whakalofalahi atu ki matolosi, koe hingoa haku Cora-Allan lawhiki twists. I am a hiapo practitioner, artist. I'm of Māori and Niue descent, so I'm Ngāpuhi Ngāhi Te Timutumu, and a lofi and leku from Niue. My art practice wasn't initially based in hiapo, which is the tapa cloth from the island of Niue. That was based in installation, photography, performance. I did my master's in performance, and so I've kind of developed a toolkit of different art mediums. My grandparents asked me to pursue this art form from Niue, hiapo, and originally it was for their burial garments, and so I started making for form and function basically. And knowing it was an art form, I knew that it could work in both the institutional kind of art space and a community space, and so what I do swings between both realms. And hiapo itself is really a look into Pacific landscapes, narratives, stories from the Pacific. And now being here, I've really kind of moved into how can I use my art materials, but being influenced by the landscape of Wānaka. As one of the first makers in a very long time, I had the opportunity to share this knowledge. When I first started practicing, I didn't realize that creating hiapo wouldn't just be the making of it, so the painting. It would include growing the right plants, harvesting the right plants, learning how to use a machete to cut the right plants down. And so I went back to the islands and I learned from different Pacific island nations and gathered a knowledge system that would help me to make hiapo now. The plant is usually the paper mulberry, which is the English name. Once you've got your tree and you've got a source that you can pull from, you cut the whole tree down, slice it down the middle, peel off the outer bark, and you're beating the inner bark, and so then you soak it and you beat. And you beat some more, and then you beat some more, and then eventually you'll have a material that you can start to use as like a textile or a paper. Once you've got your surface prepared, you need to go make your ink. All the materials that can be prepared are all from nature. It's a very long process. I think the pigments that we find in the whenua people don't really see, and so the colours that I use are a really good kind of nudge to people that look at the land as you travel, look at the colours. You might not see them, but they're there, and also the material too is free for everyone. And so teaching other people how to harvest, how to use the natural resources that are here is a really nice conversation in this new work. Hiapo motifs are usually based on the landscape of the island they came from, the context, the people, life around them, and they might not look like what you see. Like a checkered board pattern is actually a woven mat. Little dotted patterns that just look like little dots is actually breadfruit, and so they translate from the maker. The thing about, I think, this generational gap of missing knowledge is that you don't get to look at something and know what it means necessarily. So you need a reference, and if you don't have a community or people around you that know these knowledges and talk about them often, you're not going to know. For me, it's developed from knowing nothing to be able to make something for the community and then the art world, and now kind of creating resources so that people can learn more and know more. I want my art to not just be something that's beautiful on the wall, but be something that's a conversation and community.